We are going to do day one. We're going to go back and forth between converting different units. Like I said, you should have the conversion chart in front of you when we are doing this. Okay. So for number one, it says, which unit would you use to measure in each case? So for the size of a book, perhaps you can use by measuring using centimeter, or you could perhaps use inch. So we will be looking at a metric system. So metric system includes like centimeter, millimeter, meter, and kilometer. On the other hand, when we are using imperial system, we're looking at inch, feet, and yard. Okay. Now, in order to do a conversion effectively, so let me show you. The smallest is millimeter and then centimeter. So every time I'm converting from millimeter to centimeter, what you need to do is you have to divide it by 10. And then from centimeter to meter, you divide it by 100. And from meter to kilometer, you divide it by 1000. On the other hand, if I want to convert from kilometer to meter, you multiply that by 1000. Meter to centimeter, multiply that by 100. And centimeter to millimeter, multiply that by 10. For a desk, perhaps, we can use a measurement such as you could use a meter stick, so meter, or you could do centimeter. For imperial, you could use inch, or you could use feet as well. Okay. What about a lawn, a big lawn? So the lawn, you will be using a little bit of a bigger unit. So perhaps you could use meter. For imperial, you could use feet, or perhaps yard as well. Okay. And lastly, an airfield. Airfield is huge. So because it's so big of a distance, we will be using kilometer, or you could use yard, or perhaps miles. Let me just add miles here as well. Okay. So I want you to understand the degree of how big the unit is. So you're always starting from small over here, millimeter, to kilometer, which is big. And for imperial, you are starting inch, which is a small unit, and then the larger unit will be in miles. Okay. Now for this one, you can practice using the ruler that you have. So this was for number 4 to 8 was given so that you know how to use a ruler using centimeter or millimeter ruler and inches ruler. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. Okay, the most important part is conversion. So first of all, let's get comfortable knowing how to convert within the metric measure. So again, just a reminder, millimeter, centimeter, kilometer, we have meter and kilometer. So you will have this in front of you when you are doing the evaluation. So here again, we're dividing by 10, dividing by 100, and dividing by 1000. If we're going the opposite direction, we're multiplying that by 10, 100, and 1000. So for this one, let's try letter A. So when we have 2,400 meter, we're trying to go from meter to kilometer here. Meter to kilometer. So what we need to do, if you take a look, to go from meter to kilometer, we got to divide it by 1,000. So what you can do is 2,400 divided by 1,000, and that will give me 2.4. So it will be 2.4 kilometer. Now, it's important to know how to do a unit conversion using unit cancellation. So what I would recommend is write down what you're given, 2,400 meter, times the conversion unit that we're using is meter to kilometer. So therefore, meter, whatever we're trying to get rid of, meter should be at the bottom, and whatever we're trying to find, kilometer should be at the top. And we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meter. Therefore, meter and meter cancels out. Therefore, you get 2,400 times 1 divided by 1,000, which will give me 2.4 kilometer. So this is the ideal way to do a unit conversion. Okay, let's try the next one. So we have centimeter to millimeter. So the simple way to do is we are going from centimeter to millimeter, so we got to multiply that by 10. So 34 times 10, which is 3,400. 340, I mean. If I want to show using a conversion, write down what you're given, times, so the centimeter, the one that I'm trying to get rid of, goes at the bottom, and millimeter is what I'm trying to find. We know that, looking at the number, we know that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Therefore, centimeter and centimeter cancels out. So you get 34 times 10 over 1, which is 340 millimeter. Okay. Now, so you're given a different units, liter and milliliter. So if you look at your conversion chart is going to tell you that 1 liter is 1,000 milliliter. Make sure you look first. And 1 kilogram is 1,000 gram. So using this conversion, let's try it. So we have 5 liter. You always multiply. So liter should go at the bottom because we're trying to get rid of the liter. And milliliter should be at the top. And using the conversion chart information, we know that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliter. So therefore, liter and liter cancels out. You get 5 times 1,000, so 5,000 milliliter over 1. So therefore, the answer is 5,000 milliliter. Okay. So try letter D on your own. And now we're going to take a look at number 13. So we are going to learn how to do imperial measure conversion. So to do this, again, you have to look at the conversion chart on the survival guide. It's in the chart format in a table. So in this case, we're turning from pounds to ounces. So therefore, we know that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounce. So that should always be your first step. For letter B, quarts and pints. We know that 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So this is what you need to identify as well. And lastly, inches and feet. We know that 1 feet is equal to 12 inches. Now that we have conversion, unit conversion factor, let's plug it in. So we're given 4 pounds. So pounds is 1 lb, okay? 4 pounds times pound has to be at the bottom and ounces has to be at the top because we're looking for an ounce. So therefore, we know that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. Then pound and pound cancels out. So we have to do 4 times 16, which is 64 over 1. Therefore, my final answer is 64 ounces. Let's try the next one, letter B. We're given 6.5. We're given 6.5 quarts. And quarts has to be at the bottom. And we're looking for pint. And looking at the conversion factor, we know 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. And when you multiply, quarts and quarts cancels out. So you do 6.5 times 2, which is 13 pints over 1. Therefore, my final answer is 13 pints. Okay, lastly, let's try 42 inches and feet. So we're given 42 inches, and inches has to go at the bottom, and the feet has to go at the top. We know that 1 feet is 12 inches. So inch and inch cancels out. So you do 42 times 1, which is 42 feet, over 12. And then 42 over 12, when I punch it in the calculator, you get 3.5. So therefore, 42 inches is going to be 3.5 feet. So you will be practicing that for letter D as a last step. Okay. And lastly, let's take a look at number 14. So we are converting from metric and imperial measure. So we need to take a look at how to go from inch to centimeter. So to go from inch to centimeter, we have to look at what is 1 inch. So if you look at the table, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeter. And then if you look at the chart, let's try letter C. We know that we're going from gallon to liter. We know that 1 gallon is equal to 3.785 liter. So this is given in the chart. So now that we have this information, let's write down what we're given. 36 inch times inch has to be at the bottom and centimeter is at the top. 1 inch is 2.54. And you will notice that inch and inch cancels out. So you do 36 times 2.54, which is 91.44 centimeter over 1. So therefore, my final answer is 91.44 centimeter. Let's try letter C. again, we're given 10 gallon. And then we are going to put gallon at the bottom and liter at the top. 1 gallon is 3.785. And gallon cancels out. So you do 10 times 3.785. So 37.85 liter over 1. Therefore, my final answer is 37.85 liter. Okay, so then let's try the last question for today, which is number 15. So Jesse needs to order a flooring for his room. He measured the dimension of the room to be 300 centimeter by 375 centimeter. However, the flooring company needs to know these dimensions in feet. Find the dimensions of the room in feet. So in this case, we are going from centimeter to feet. If you look at the conversion chart, you will notice that 1 feet is equal to 30.48 centimeter. So can you predict what's going to happen next? So we're given 300 centimeter times centimeter goes at the bottom, so 30.48 centimeter, and 1 feet is at the top. And then you do 300 times 1, because centimeter and centimeter cancel. So you get 300 feet over 30.48. And when you punch it in, you get about 9.8 feet. So that's the length. And for width, we're given 375 centimeter. So again, 30.48 centimeter goes at the bottom, and 1 feet is at the top. And centimeter cancels out. So you multiply the numerator, 375 times 1 over 30.48. And that will give me approximately 12.3 feet. So what are the dimensions? Well, therefore, dimensions are 9.8 feet by 12.3 feet. And that is your final answer. So for word problem, make sure you end with a sentence and square box your final answer.